God, we just had that freaking hurricane blow through.
Oh yeah, dude, those pictures that you sent of that hurricane, dude, that's wild, man.
Yeah,
all
that was
the
that was
fencing and stuff down.
yeah, that was Ashley's house. But dude, it was like tracking way more west, like southwest coastal, like closer to the Mexico border. And man, it just like the last, I want to say 18 hours or 12 hours or something like that, it just started bending back, closer to the Houston area. And it got pretty wild, dude. It was gnarly. I left let's see, it hit Sunday night, Monday morning. So I left like Sunday afternoon, and it was like dude, it was gnarly leaving Houston, and like you could see it in the Gulf.
Did you fly or did you drive?
No, I drove.
I was gonna say, were they even allowing people to fly?
Yeah, I think all the way up until like the hurricane actually hit. But
do you ever get that effects over like where you're living at?
Yeah, the last one that came through, that I think it was just a tropical storm. We actually it hit like southern Mexico and then bent up towards like the Texas Panhandle. And we got a decent amount of rain. I probably got 3 or 4 inches or something like that over the span of 48 hours.
Y'all don't get a lot of rain where you're at, do you?
It just depends. Like this year's been pretty good. But normally it's just dry and hot, and then we'll get like that afternoon thunderstorm, and every time it comes, it's hail and possible tornadoes. Like literally every time it rains here. Man, and sometimes it'll just hail and there won't be any rain. It's a great place to live. Yeah, great place to live.
So your insurance companies are booming down there, and your auto body shops.
Time to invest, David.
Time to invest. Get in. Get into Allstate. Anyway,
we're on.
Welcome back to episode 6 of Armored and Anchored. As always, I'm accompanied with my good buddy Jordan. We're gonna be trying to keep up on some of these current events that have kind of been going around in the world and taking it from there. Been kind of crazy, dude. I mean, there's always something going on in the world.
Yeah.
But one thing that's kind of affected me the most lately, that's kind of just intriguing, is so like I've been at my job coming up now for 1 year, my new job, and I run I'm a production supervisor for a really large machine shop that has like 110 CNC machines and a bunch of robotic arms and stuff like that with automated cells. And when I joined this company back in July of last year, dude, there wasn't enough hours in the day to get stuff done. We were working 10-hour shifts. Well, my operators were working 10-hour shifts, 5 days a week. So, I was working.
Are y'all like, do y'all do like contracts with people?
Yeah. So like we got a lot of contracts. So mainly what we do, the main components in which we machine are drivetrain components. So we do a lot of stuff for Dana, Danfoss, which is a huge like hydraulic pump housing company. Mm-hmm. John Deere, Case New Holland. We do a lot of stuff for Polaris, and every now and then we do some other things. Like we've got a military contract with a company called Norgren. They make some sort of like aluminum housing that looks like, honestly, it looks like something that was on, like, I swore I've seen it before on the backside of our Humvees. It's literally like this big, and it's got something to do with something with communication. I don't know what it is, but I know the military uses it, and we machine it, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to machine. But
so one thing that just slowing down because of losing contracts, or contracts just expiring.
Well, supposedly, and I didn't know this, but supposedly, like with I found out when I joined the team that during election years within manufacturing, like everybody slows down.
Yeah,
like a lot of manufacturing shops do. And I was like, what does an election have to do with manufacturing? Come to find out that it's because our vendors are companies that buy from these machine shops, such as mine, that machine these parts. they're holding off to see how the election's going to go. They're holding back on spending, kind of wrapping it all in, getting ready to be done with the fiscal year and seeing if, okay, are we going to get tax breaks? Are we going to get taxed more? Do we need to buy more? Do we need to buy less? So they wait actually to see what the election goes, whether it's going to lean Republican or it's going to lean Democratic. And then, like, apparently from all the other people that I've talked to that are my employees that have been through multiple elections, supposedly like right after November and December, like when we get done with Christmas and stuff, it just amps up. Like there ain't enough. It goes right back to we don't have enough time in the world, regardless of the outcome of the election. I really, to this day, still don't understand how that affects it. Because I can understand like the gun industry, for instance, right?
Yeah,
When there's an election that comes up, people go into a buying frenzy of buying AR-15s, pistols, stuff like that.
Oil and gas.
Oil and gas.
What else is another one?
There's probably tons of things that obviously an election, housing, property, those types of things. But the craziest thing that actually was brought to my lap today was I was doing a review for an employee of mine, and we were talking about how we're really slow right now, right? We're working 32-hour shifts. It's been kind of pretty shitty, not gonna lie. So I have like every Friday off now, which it's like I've been taking it. I look at it as a positive thing. Like I can do more things now around the house. I got Fridays off, so I can like go plan stuff, long weekends. But I was talking to an employee, and he was talking about John Deere, who is one of our companies that we manufacture for. We make a lot of like oil cooler covers. We make their timing covers. We make a lot of components for John Deere. And he's like, yeah, man, have you like paid attention what's going on with John Deere? And the last thing I heard about was John Deere hired some sort of social influencer or something like that. Some kid that they literally just threw some merch at, and they were like, hey man, go represent John Deere. And apparently he didn't grow up on a farm. He doesn't farm. He just like makes TikToks and videos for the company. And I'm like, and everybody that there's a lot of people that I know that have used John Deere religiously are like, I think I'm going over to Case International. Like this is ridiculous because of that. But I said, is that what you're talking about? And he's like, no, what I'm talking about is the massive layoffs that they're having. I was like, John Deere's having mass layoffs? He's like, yeah, they're moving a lot of stuff over to Mexico. But because of that, he told me that they're laying off like another 400 people from a plant. And I did some research on it, and it's saying right here that as of Thursday this week, John Deere confirmed that they are going to lay off another additional 345 production workers from its operation plant in Waterloo, Iowa, and that'll be effective September 20th. So that brings it up to the total of 894 employees have been laid off since the beginning of this year at that plant alone.
Is that because it's probably cheaper to manufacture this stuff in Mexico?
Yeah, because like the company that I work for has 2 plants in Mexico, but they do like die cast stuff. So the plants are side by side in Ramos, Mexico, and that's all they do. So we didn't really see a need for it here stateside. And yeah, it's a little cheaper labor, but I think it's a lot because most of our production and stuff like that is done up here with assembly, machining, things like that, because Polaris is in Minnesota. John Deere's in the Midwest, Case New Holland's in the Midwest, so everything's up here. But I think with the die-cast stuff, we found a good deal on building 2 plants down there. But it's crazy because this is one of the largest John Deere production plants that started off with 5,000 employees, and now it's dwindling down to 3,000. And I could see it going down from there.
Like they're gonna close it?
I don't know about closing it, but it's going to be so slow to the point where like they're going to probably only be doing like service parts. Like
Wow.
if people are needing parts, they'll just fire up a machine, make the parts real quick, and then they'll shut it down. And
Do you think John Deere is struggling financially? Like they've taken a hit somewhere and now they're trying to recoup?
honestly, with what I've seen in my job, yeah, probably. Like it's got to be a business decision on top of management that was like, hey, we have to do this. I don't think they have to. I think the problem is because you know, let I'm not going to beat around the bush. Our president really hasn't done a great job with our economy. He's
Well, yeah, yeah.
he's done absolutely horrible. So interest rates are so high on everything. That's why like we're slow. Like Polaris isn't selling a lot of side by sides or ATVs, the jack shafts that we make for them. They didn't sell a lot of snowmobiles up here because we got like no snow this last winter. Um, and with the interest rates being so high on tractors and stuff, no farmer is going out and buying new equipment. They're literally repairing the old stuff or going to estate sales and buying used stuff that doesn't have this $400,000 GPS guided system because that's where everybody's going to nowadays for farming is GPS stuff.
Yeah.
So guys are literally just wanting to just hop on a tractor and say, you know what, I'm going to be in the thing anyway, so I'm just going to work it and I'm going to save money by getting a used tractor or whatever and just deal with it. And
I mean, dude, at some point there's going to be no need for somebody to be inside there, man.
there isn't. And what movie is it? Is it Interstellar? Or one of those movies that they literally have like a robotic combine. It's like a case combine that literally just drives itself.
I couldn't tell you.
But that is the way that we're going.
Yeah.
Because I did a study too when I was in college. It was like back after World War II, like 30-something% of the world or in the nation of the United States was all farming. Now it's like 7% because of the growth. Yeah, it's like 7% of the population in the United States is farmers. And that's because, but we've been able to keep up with demand.
Do you have any idea what that number was like at its peak?
I don't know the actual number, but it was like somewhere around like I said, like 34% of. But we haven't seen a decline in crops. That's because technology has come so far with farming that these farmers are able to buy massive food plots and land and still keep up with demand because these combines and these tractors are able to do things that they couldn't do, 80 years ago. So, but it just blew my mind when he told me about that today about John Deere. It's like, this is a super reputable company. Like, I'm not a John Deere fan. I'm more of a Case New Holland fan, but that just blew my mind that this company that you hear about all the time, like how many times you hear in a country song about a John Deere tractor? I mean,
yeah, it's
Joe
literally
Diffie, John Deere Green.
John Deere Green. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Right? So you think of these super, super popular companies, and now this one's sounding like it's failing.
Yeah.
But it's probably been going on like that for a long time. So they're probably one of the companies that are looking for a different result with this election coming up, because it's not just other things. It's something's got to happen with our economy, like to prosper,
I mean,
man.
Dude, I was just having this conversation with actually one of my customers. He was just basically saying like, the U.S. dollar is going to go away. I mean, basically that the paper you have is going to be worth nothing. He's like, I feel sorry for your generation, honestly. Like, he's like, it's just, y'all got dealt shitty cards. And he's like, there's literally nothing y'all can do about it because it's out of your hands. It doesn't matter how hard you work, where you go invest your time to work. There's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do other than affect your community. That's it.
Yeah, and that's, and like, look at, we were talking too about like COVID, right? Like COVID was the time to buy things. Interest rates were super low. So like, that's when I bought my house. Cars, any motorsports that you wanted, like a motorcycle or side by side, you get it dirt cheap and at a really low interest rate. And
That's just because people weren't buying anything.
Yeah, people weren't buying anything. People were getting, working 32-hour weeks like we are now, but they were still getting that $600 a week stimulus. They were. I knew people that I work with that were actually making more money on COVID than they do right now when we were working like 50-hour weeks, because they didn't have to leave the house as much. They had the stimulus check. They had the interest rates. Groceries were affordable. Like everything was pretty good. Other than the situation that we got ourselves into, but
fighting over bread and toilet paper.
Oh, toilet paper, man. That was wild.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine trying to tell the younger generation when we start getting older and start seeing these kids grow up and telling them like, yeah, there was a time where we had to conserve our shitter paper because there was none available.
Dude, think about like, okay, so this is such a sidebar, but think about toilet paper as a whole. Dude, that's a great investment. That shit's not going anywhere.
It's not.
That's literally like, other than maybe like a wipe or like a bidet, but literally, I don't know many guys that are going to use a bidet.
Dude, I was just listening to a podcast for these guys. They push for bidets because they love them. But I could not imagine, this is totally sidebar, but I couldn't imagine having pressurized water just fucking flushing out my ass.
No, no, dude, it's not a concept that I want to invest in. It's not a concept that I want to try. But I mean, seriously, like, dude, toilet paper? I don't know, man. It seems like a good investment to me.
I wish I would have known, I would have invested in like Charmin or something, man, and just pulled out of the stocks when toilet paper started hitting the market again.
Dude, totally.
Like, it's wild, man. I actually was thinking about that. I'm like, who the hell started this concept that was like, we're gonna run out of toilet paper, and all of a sudden everybody just went out and bought, like, I remember there was people buying toilet paper off of Marketplace.
Oh yeah, people bought that shit in bulk and then try to resell it for a higher price.
Yeah.
Like, people aren't stupid.
Like $50 or something for a pack of toilet paper. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, hell no, dude. I'll go wash my ass in the river. I don't care.
Yeah, no, that was. But hey, you say that, but I know Jordanians that didn't use toilet paper in Afghanistan.
That's a common thing over there, though, isn't it?
They just use one of these good things, and then they wash their hand.
Gross, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought up a good point too with the bidet. If you get like dirt or shit on your hand, like if you're cleaning up your dog's shit and you get shit on your hand, you're not gonna go wipe it off with just a paper towel, right, or a piece of toilet paper and call it good, right? You're gonna go wash your hands with soap and water. And I was like,
okay, but here's the problem that I have with the bidet, bro. I can't see my ass.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I can see myself washing my freaking hands, bro. Like,
supposedly you're just supposed to like spray it down and still wipe, but it'll only take like 1 or 2 ply.
So why not just wipe your whatever? Anyways, back to what we were talking about. The economy is shit, apparently. But yeah, everything's getting affected, man. I mean, dude, we see it out here. I mean, rig count, I can't remember what it was at. It was like 300 something, and they're projecting it to be like, I think like 150. So it's going to take, 40% to 50% decrease once it gets closer to election. And depending on what the hell happens, it could stay that way. Like during COVID, dude, there was only there's less than 100 rigs drilling.
And we don't even use our
unheard of here.
We don't even use our reserve, do we?
We did at one point. I can't remember if it was 2020 or 2021. We did use our reserves. We started using our reserves, and so we had to replenish our reserves. But the problem is, like, historically, we've bought oil.
Yeah.
Instead of using our own.
Yeah.
And we sell ours to other countries. And it's like, if we would just quit selling our shit and keep everything in-house, like, man,
I have a feeling like fuel would be a lot cheaper. Like, the other thing too, like, diesel is really cheaper to make. I mean, we make it out of corn.
It's less additives, dude. Like there's literally nothing you add to it.
Right. But it's always been $1.50, $2 more than gasoline.
More than gasoline, yeah. And gasoline has, depending on what fuel grade you get, has way more additives to make it that 93 or to make it that 85. You know, like I don't know, man. That's a whole gimmick to me, and I think I'm just gonna shut up. But
I think that's literally to put farmers out of business so that people can come in and buy land. It has to be, dude.
Dude, China is buying land here. Chinese people that live in China are buying land here.
Yep.
But yet you and I,
yeah,
it's almost impossible for us to get land.
I think I looked, this was a while back, but I looked at land because like I've always wanted to either have land or in Texas or in Wyoming.
Yeah.
In Texas, like you said in that one podcast, it's like 98% privately owned. And
yeah, I mean, dude, you literally have to make somebody an offer, like that Cody Johnson song. Like, dude, you have to make, you gotta make somebody an offer. And 9 times out of 10, they're not willing to sell it because they know what it's worth. You would literally like to entice somebody, whatever you think that's worth, go up 50%. Sometimes double it. And then they'll consider thinking about it. Not selling it, but thinking about it.
Yeah, like Wyoming, I looked at some land out there just to buy like hunting land. Like I wasn't going to establish it with a house or anything, but I think there was like 2 or 5 acres out near like Buffalo, kind of the area where I hunt. They wanted $500,000 for that because it was like there was mountains in the background. 5.
Well, I mean, dude, that's not
$100,000 an acre.
That's not far fetched from here, dude. That is.
Well, I know, like Texas is the same, dude. It's. Yeah.
I mean, it depends. It depends where in Texas that you're trying to get this land, but 100,000 an acre is like, that's not like, oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy, but it's not like it's not heard of down here because there is people that are selling an acre for 10,000, but what are you getting? You know, like in proximity, what are you? Are you close to a train? Are you close to another road? Are you close to a town? You know, like the 10,000 an acre kind of fluctuates down there. But like, man, if you want to go to like Texas Hill Country, dude, you're paying 120, 150 an acre.
I think that's literally, and that's the problem with Wyoming is the areas in which I was looking, it had mountains in the background. That nothing special about the land itself. It wasn't agricultural. It was more commercial and didn't have a lot of wildlife, but because it had mountains in the background, man, it was like 100,000 for an acre. It's like, what?
Hey, paying for a view.
I could look at the view from a fucking rest stop and be like, that's nice. I do it all the time when I go out to Wyoming. I'm just like, that's nice. All right, we're gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, that's no shit.
I don't get it, man. I really don't.
I mean, straight up, dude. If I had the opportunity to be like, okay, do I want to buy 10 acres for $1 million in Texas, or do I want to buy 10 acres for $1 million in Wyoming? I'm probably gonna buy 10 acres in Wyoming.
Probably,
if I had the opportunity to do that.
I think I would just
10 acres ain't shit anymore, man.
It's not. I just had a buddy of mine buy 20 acres up in northern Wisconsin here, $50,000, and I was like, dude, that's pretty good.
That's a steal.
And it's like, in the land in which he bought too, that's like super habitable for like big deer, and I think he's got some pheasants on there. Like he's planning on building a house there, but he paid for it in cash because he saved up for so many years.
That's the way to do things nowadays, man. Pay for it in cash,
dude. Yeah, I like some of the people. A lot of the people, like, you know, my parents' generation that grew up and bought farmland that was super cheap, or houses that had 40 acres on it. They're probably going to get at least 3 times more than what they invested if they were to sell.
Oh yeah.
You know, they bought it for
Absolutely.
fucking whatever, $25,000 and 5 blueberries, and then now they could sell for $500,000 or more.
Five blueberries.
Yeah, dude. It's like I always make fun of people that I talked to a guy when I was down when I lived down in the cities that he was like, yeah, me and my wife, we just sold our house. We bought this house in 1970 something for like 25 grand, and I was like, "Oh, yeah?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What'd you sell it for?" He's like, "Well, like 400,000." I was like, "Oh, so you guys are." I was like, "So it's paid off, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's been paid off for at least 30 years." I'm like,
Holy
"Okay,
shit.
so you guys are not paying capital gains tax on that, so that's all profit, pure 140
Wow.
400,000. So they didn't even need to save.
Is there not capital gains on that?
No, not if. Well, the rule up here is if you've owned a house more than 2 years, you don't have to pay capital gains tax.
You know, I'm not. This conversation actually just came up. I can't remember why, but I feel like I had a conversation with my dad about it, and I don't remember what was said. But I remember there was a 2-year deal,
Yeah.
but I don't remember if it was property or like a property without a house or property with a house. I don't remember what the stipulation was, but I do. Yeah, I think you're not far off of what you're talking about right now.
Well, it's because a lot of people would go out and buy a house and they would fix it up, turn it around, try to sell it for like $75,000
Yeah, flip
more,
it.
even though they'd flip it, and that's how
Doing the
they're making
American
good money.
doing the American dream and getting punished for it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Which
Oh.
I mean, I know people that bought houses during COVID, dirt cheap, fixed them up, and they're turning around and selling them. They might have bought it for like $100,000. Now they're turning around and sell it for $250,000, but they had to literally wait 2 years before they didn't get penalized for it.
Yeah. That's
So
the
they
kicker.
rented it out, so they were getting their money, but
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I'm like, if a person invests that amount of money in their hard work to turn around and make a profit, that is exactly what you said. That is the American dream. They are literally pursuing getting money, their
they're being
happiness,
penalized for it.
and they're being penalized for it.
And
Like,
where's
why?
that money going? Oh, Afghanistan. I forgot.
Yeah. Afghanistan,
Forgot.
Ukraine, all our money's going overseas, man. Nothing's being invested in the United States anymore.
That's why we're so fucking in debt, bro.
Yeah, I know. We'll just
This
print
country
more
will
money.
be in debt until the day it implodes, and until there's nobody left in the United States. This country will be forever in debt until we're a third world country,
Mhm.
which is not far off.
I mean, we'll just print more money and we'll raise minimum wage. That's the answer to everything.
Print more money, yeah. That shit's gonna be your money is gonna be gold, silver, and lead eventually.
Oh yeah, I know a bunch of guys at my work that are already buying a bunch of silver and gold.
Yeah, that's literally what the U.S. dollar is not gonna be shit. It's gonna be cha 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 Charmin that you wipe your ass with, and you're gonna be paying with gold. I'm straight up, bro. That fucking green piece of paper means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
That's why
because it has a 10 on it or a 50 on it. It means nothing. It absolutely means nothing.
That's why
what's valuable is shit you can hold, right?
And shoot.
Yeah, lead.
Yeah. lead.
I'm just saying.
Just pump it up with lead.
Yeah.
That's why I shot my realtor. I got my house. I'm just kidding.
Total joke. Nobody come after Kale.
If I'm not already on the list, I'm on one now.
I'm pretty sure everybody that has said something negative about the government on their cell phone is on a list, bro.
Well, that or our Xbox game chats, because let's be honest, we're not very PC.
Hey, those were pretty roasty back in 2020. I'll tell you that. Some of us, no names, but some of us would be in jail.
Yeah, I'd be probably serving a couple life sentences for some of the shit I said.
Yeah, I know a curly-headed kid that would definitely be serving some.
Yeah, my dad.
No names.
My dad bought it. Dad bought me Call of Duty. What do you got going on?
In life or for this beautiful podcast?
Beautiful podcast. What do you got for us? Spit some knowledge.
Man. So, are you ready to get pissed off with me? Because I'm ready to get pissed off already.
I mean, I'm already pissed off.
Headline. I'm quoting Tim Kennedy here. And if anybody doesn't know who Tim Kennedy is, go look him up. He's on Instagram.
He's a goat.
He's a fabulous veteran. But he posted 198. These are his words, not mine. 198 traders just voted to allow illegal immigrants to vote in international elections. The definition of a traitor is a person who betrays a friend, a country, principles, etc. Now, going on to his post, things you need an ID for: a citizen, right? To be a citizen of the United States, what you need that ID for, okay? You need it for your bank. You need it for the airport. You need it for a doctor's appointment. You need it for a pharmacy. You need it for school. You need to be able to use it to buy a gun. You need to be able to use it to get a hunting and fishing license. You need to use it to pick up your kids from school or daycares. You need it to check into a hospital. You need it to go to the bar to verify you're 21. You need it for tobacco. You need it for your workplace. They always have a record of your driver's report or whatever if you're using a company vehicle. You need it to get a library card. Sometimes I think can be iffy, but he did list it. You need it for court. You need it for a hotel. You know where you don't need it?
To vote.
To vote.
Dude.
So you're telling me people that aren't American citizens, that don't have an ID, that are here illegally, can determine the president of the United States? How? And just tell me. I'm gonna try to not get mad and yell, but
I'm already there.
Tell me, where in the fuck does that make sense?
Dude, I remember the first ever time I voted was the 2016 election. Mm-hmm. It was because the times before we were in California when we were in the Marines, and when you're in the Marines or in the military, I should say, you have to fill out a paperwork for casting a ballot in a different state, but it'll count for your home state
because you're a service member. Yeah,
right. And I didn't really care about politics back then. You know, I was younger, didn't give a fuck. It didn't matter who our commander in chief really was. We were all getting screwed no matter what. So it's like, yeah. I wasn't going to do it. But then 2016 came rolling around and I was like, you know what? I'm going to vote. And I walked into the polls, and yeah, I went in and I got a really, really small town home that they do it here in, our town hall. And I walked in and I pulled out my driver's license, and they're like, name? And I told my name, and I was like, yeah, my name's Cale Schiller. And they're like, oh yeah, here you are, right here. And they just hand me a ballot. I'm like, you're not even going to verify that it's me? They're like, well, you said it was you. I'm like, I was baffled that you're not even going to verify. So then, you know, after that election and, you know, whatever, I was still puzzled. I'm like, okay, that was a weird experience. And then going into the 2020 election, same thing. And then I heard on the news about all these people that went to the polls, and they were like, yep, my name's so-and-so. And they're like, oh, you already voted. They're like, what? I didn't vote. They're like, I just literally got off work to come vote. And they're like, oh, you already voted. And that's the problem we're running into. It's
literally the most important decision of the United States.
It is. And I'm sorry, but illegal immigrants have no business and no say in what we do with our country unless you want to become a citizen legally.
Dude, should have to be a fucking... If I have to be 18 to vote, you should have to be here fucking 18 years to cast a fucking ballot.
Yeah, dude. Or just... I'm all for immigrants coming here and voting, but do it legally. Get your green card, get your citizenship, and do it legally. Yeah. And the reason why they want these illegal immigrants is because the other party
they know they're gonna fucking lose, man.
They're gonna lose, and not only that, but they're gonna say, hey, we're gonna give you all this stuff. We're gonna get you a job. We're gonna get you a home. We're gonna
just make sure you vote for us.
Yep, make sure you vote for us. We'll get you taken care of. And then, of course, an illegal immigrant, you know, if I was to go to a different country and someone came up and said that to me and I didn't know about this country, I'd be like, well, this sounds great. Like, and
Yeah.
I just gotta
Where'd I
literally
go?
check a box and say I want this person to be in office. Easy.
Yeah.
But I remember when they brought up that topic of having to or wanting to have an ID for voting, and people were calling it racism. I'm like, what part of that has to do with that? Why is that racist? Is it racist to ask for your driver's license if you're in a car? No. It's to validate that you are able to operate that vehicle and you're doing it legally. It's the same shit
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
going to
Why are
get a
we
hunting license.
why are we checking IDs to drink, but we're not
Yeah.
checking IDs to vote?
It's like, okay, why is it that I can go sign up for my country at 18 years old, go die for my country, and I can't drink till I'm 21? Because you check my ID. Why is it that I can buy a rifle like
Well,
here
hold
in the
on.
state of
Hold on. This is where the thing just baffles the fuck out of me, right? An illegal immigrant can vote.
Yeah.
But they can't go fucking serve our country.
No.
So why should they be able to influence us going to war or not going to war, but not be able to be involved in the war?
Well,
You know
like,
what I mean?
yeah, you can get your citizenship by signing up with the military. You got to do extra steps, but yeah, I agree. Like, you should have I have zero say in another country's politics. I don't care what Canada's doing. I don't care what England's doing
Yeah.
or Germany. I don't care. I'm not gonna wait for the prime minister vote over in UK and be like it's coming up this year for them too, and be like, oh, I'm voting for this person. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna go over there and vote for this guy. Yep.
yeah,
I'm doing that.
I could care less. That's your country. Figure it out. You have zero say in what we do here.
Yeah,
And
I don't know, man. That whole thing just screams corruption. Just screams corruption, especially after the 2020. Like, okay, I'm not gonna be like I'm a fucking Republican, but I'm also not gonna be naive to the fact that I believe last year's election was rigged.
100%, dude.
And do I think it was rigged with illegal immigrants? No, I think they're always influenced. I think they're have always been influenced by other countries.
You know, and I sat up for that election. I was up just constantly worried like where it was going to go. And I remember it was close and Trump was leading in Michigan. And all of a sudden, like, I fell asleep at around like 1 in the morning or something like that. And I woke up at like 3:30 and checked the polls again to see where everything was. And then Michigan just turned blue and it was done. But I was like, how is that possible? All like 78% of counties were already in.
Yeah, they were trying to
And
figure
all
out
of a
how they
sudden,
can change
Joe
it.
Biden won it with like an extra 30 or 40,000 votes or something like that. I was like, where the hell did those come from?
Yeah.
There's no way, dude.
Exactly. Like literally exactly what you just said. Where did they come from? How?
So like I won't sit here and say that like Trump didn't take it past, just accept the facts. Like, yes, it was rigged. He tried to find evidence and they fucking covered that shit hard.
Yeah,
and they're calling him a whiny baby because he wouldn't accept the results. And it's like, well, I'd probably do the same thing too. Like, I would like literally rebuttal it and be like, there's no way that just happened. Like, we were up, we were doing good, and states and normally we win in, and now we didn't. Like, what's going on? And I think that's what he was doing.
So just look at the polls right now. Trump is, I was about to say a bad word, but Trump is destroying Biden right now.
He's dominating. Well, because Biden just got done calling Trump the vice president. Did you see that?
Did you see that he called the president of Ukraine Putin?
Yeah.
He introduced the president of Ukraine. And now the president of Ukraine, Putin. What? Do you know where you are?
Dude, he's not here. You could clearly see it in the debate, but it's getting worse.
Dude, what fucking blows my mind is I believe the Democrats or whoever's involved with that party, whoever's involved with the Biden party, we'll just call it that, have been protecting him so much that now they're just like, okay, the world knows he's an idiot. And now we're just going to show the world that he's a fucking idiot. And we're going to get somebody else in there that we know is not going to make an ass of themselves.
Yeah,
so
dude,
now they're just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Say whatever you want. We're not going to put a microphone in or a earpiece in, and we're not going to help you through this. So if you want to do this, you're going to do it on your own.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty embarrassing when, like, I saw this whole him forgetting Kamala Harris's name and calling her Trump. But
yeah, I would have never chosen her vice president Trump. I was like,
dude, and
you just had a debate with the man.
Not only that, but it's pretty bad when other countries are literally like, that's y'all's president, like that's who you elected, like that dude is clearly not okay. And we're like, yeah, we know.
That's
dude.
what I'm saying, dude, man. There's no fucking way that guy won. There's no way. There's no way that more than 50% of the U.S. was like, that's the guy we want running the ship, man. That's the guy. There's no way.
Nope.
And if it's really true, like if that poll wasn't rigged, God bless the United States of America, because we're a bunch of fucking idiots and we deserved it.
Dude. I mean, hey man, most popular president in U.S. history and whatever. You can't.
There's no being in that man that loves the United States of America. And you know, the only president that I believe truly loved the United States of America was Kennedy. And what happened to fucking Kennedy?
Well, yeah, Kennedy and Ronald Reagan, dude.
Oh,
Super pro America.
Yeah, man.
Dude, like, you know, you go back and look at 1984 when he got reelected. I went back and looked at the presidential election or the results. And of course, I'm ashamed to say this, but Minnesota was the only state that didn't vote for Reagan. He won 49 states. And Minnesota, the only reason why Minnesota voted Democrat, which we always do, but the only reason why they voted was because the candidate for the Democratic Party was from Minnesota.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of a given there, but
I get that, but like, the problem
worst president in fucking history is Joe Biden, man. Worst.
Oh, 100%, dude.
For the country, as a spokesman, like, I don't remember where I heard this, but he would somehow we were trying to get a hold of our counterparts in Russia, and they wouldn't even pick up the fucking phone.
Yeah.
When you have that status, like, oh, it was the new episode of Sean Ryan with Annie. Damn, I can't even remember her name. Whatever. The woman he just interviewed.
I saw it pop up. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
I've been watching a lot of Time for Pie podcasts. It's for those that on a podcast that literally has no agenda whatsoever, and you just want to listen to the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your life. It'll make you laugh. Go listen to Time for Pie. I love those guys. They're the guys from Black Rifle Coffee, but yeah, dude,
the whole thing came up was because they were talking about nuclear weapons, right? And
yeah.
She literally said, if we had to shoot a nuke, right? If we had to shoot one at North Korea, we would have to go over Russia to hit North Korea. Okay? So then she got back to the whole thing of, we can't even get a hold of our counterpart in Russia to be like, hey, North Korea just fucking sent us a nuke, so we're sending one back. It's not coming to you. Like, how vital is that, bro, that we could not even tell Russia, who fucking hates us, hey, we're not sending this at you, so please don't send one at us. This is not intended for you. This is intended for North Korea. But that's how bad Joe Biden has done keeping open communication with our enemies. And what's the famous quote? Keep your friends close, but your enemies even closer?
Yep.
Like, dude, he's just trashed the U.S. name. He's trashed the country. And like I don't even understand how people are being like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for him again. Like, how can you fucking vote for that?
Dude. And that's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Trump as a person. I think
I don't
he's
either.
kind of a
If there was another Republican running, I would gladly vote against,
yeah,
not against Trump, but I would gladly vote for somebody else. Like
yeah.
that's just the cards I'm dealt, man.
But the thing that I liked about him, and I still like about him, is, dude, he's not a used car salesman. He doesn't have any filter over his mouth.
No.
He's literally like, here's the deal. You're a fucking idiot, and I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. And that's what I loved about him. This country needed some balls. And we finally got a guy in the office that was like, I'm fucking doing it. I'm draining the swamp. I'm doing this.
But he didn't drain the swamp. He didn't. And he can't.
He can't, because it's so corrupt. We would literally have to start all over again.
They would literally come after his family. And when I say come after his family, I'm talking about kill one by one.
Oh yeah.
If he started to literally leak shit and try to change it, they would there are people in place that would take his family hostage or possibly kill them.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I loved hearing about his mean tweets, but I also really liked paying $1.67 for gas. He is the only U.S. president to set foot on North Korean soil and shake the hands with Kim Jong-un. He had good relations with Russia. He kept everything in balance. The dude fucking went to a meeting with the Taliban and told the guy, if you don't fucking do, like, he was trying to get us pulled out of Afghanistan and was like, listen, we don't want to be here anymore. We're pulling out, but you're not going to attack us, because if you do, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to end up killing you. I hope you understand that. And Trump handed him a fucking photo of the Taliban guy's house, a satellite imagery of his house. Before he left, he goes, I hope you know, if you don't do this, I'm blowing up your fucking home and killing your family and you. And then left. How fucking mic drop G is that, dude?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine? I couldn't imagine if someone was like, I'm going to kill you. And you're like, okay, whatever, dude. And then someone handed me a satellite fucking imagery of my fucking home and was like, I'm going to kill you. I'm like, oh, dude. Yeah. He's got the capabilities. I'm going to do what you want, man.
But he didn't.
No.
They did not, because who came in?
Correct. I mean, that dude, I'm still furious with that debate of him saying no military member died in his presidency. It's like, dude, I screamed at my TV. I was like, what about Abbey Gate, motherfucker? Yeah. Like the 13 service members that lost their lives at Abbey Gate, and the multiple special operations unit members that lost their lives because of him. And not just that, but also CIA. And
yeah, well, my son is not a sucker. Okay.
And then they argued about golf, and I just saw that Trump invited fucking Biden to a golf game.
Oh my god.
Or golf match. I'm like, dude.
Can you imagine, dude? Just take yourself out of America right now, okay?
Okay.
Imagine being Russia and China watching that debate.
Oh, dude, they've got a bowl of popcorn every time they hear something new, and they're like, "What's going on in the United States?"
It's not even. Yeah, it's not even a bowl of popcorn, bro. It's like, okay, he's weak here. He's weak here. We're gonna fuck up U.S. right here.
Yep.
Biden's a bitch. Yep. Got it. If he gets elected again, we're gonna start World War III.
Yep. Oh, he wants to open border on the south border. Perfect. That's where we can
fucking send everybody, dude, and we can go fucking elect that idiot again, and then.
Yep.
Destroy the U.S.
I'll drop some people off in Mexico. They'll make their way up through California, and they'll start infecting the United States from there. It's like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
It's
bad.
But yeah, like, I will always be a firm believer, though, that we need IDs to vote. I feel a lot more secure. Man. I feel a lot more secure about, because some of these kids nowadays, too, that are not of age, not of 18 years old, look like they could be 20. Yeah. And if they walked in and knew their neighbor that was like 80 years old,
who's not going to
vote, who's been registered there for a long time, whatever, and know that the people aren't going to check, could walk in there and say, you know what? Yeah, hey, I'm so-and-so. It's like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's your ballot. Boom. You just got to vote from somebody else. That's not even legal to vote, but you're going to give it to an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
Because that's okay.
On fine. It's the United States of America. You can do whatever you want.
U.S. affairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard pass, buddy.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. I get up in arms about that shit, dude. I'm getting to the point now, dude, where nobody believes in America anymore. Nobody has patriotism anymore. Nobody flies an American flag out in their front yard with pride. Like,
hey, dude, I got a reason that I don't have one out there, because I have 30 to 50 mile an hour winds every single day. That just
you got one on your wall.
Yeah.
You got your American flag on the wall. You got your Marine Corps flag. I've got my Marine Corps flag. I've got my American flag out front. But dude, I'm a diehard patriot. Like, I will die for this country. I don't care.
That's why we joined.
No matter how fucked up it is, I will always try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And dude, there's so many people nowadays that are just, they won't even pick a fight. Could you imagine? Put yourself here. Like, forget about all our history. Forget about everything that's happened. Could you imagine a time right now where if we were literally in tyranny from another country and having to step up for that and try to fight for our independence? It would never happen. It would never happen.
No.
There would be people such as us that would be like, yeah, fuck that. I'm going to war with these guys. But we'd be labeled as extremists, and we would be labeled as like domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
Like, hey, things are okay, man. Like, we don't, they're treating us okay. Like, yeah, they beat us every now and then, but we're okay. It's like, no, dude. It's like, no, screw that shit. Like, people forget about that. That's why I even put a post out, or I saw a post on Facebook, and I was going to share it, but I forgot. It was said, if you're anti-gun, you don't get to celebrate the 4th of July. I was like, yup.
I mean, it is what it is, dude.
Dude, I mean, and I'm all for people having their own beliefs too. That's also what America stands for. You have a voice, you have an opinion, you have freedom of speech. It's our First Amendment. You can do what you want. But for God's sakes, man, have a fucking backbone for our country.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm all about people, whatever, celebrating their shit, right? Having a whole month for their shit. But what really gets me is like, everybody feels obligated to like say they're we support that group. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do, because they don't want to hurt anybody's fucking feelings, right? Or they don't want to be politically incorrect about whatever they're trying to say they support, right?
Yeah.
And that's America. Like, that's okay. Do that.
Yeah, just
don't fucking be a sheep and just say you support that shit because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or somebody to fucking look at you differently.
Well, and
it's the same shit, bro. Like, the whole LGBTQ thing, okay? I'm not a fucking hater of it, but you're not going to see me running around with a fucking rainbow flag that was an American flag at one point.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not scared to fucking say, hey, do your thing, bro. Y'all do your thing. Am I in support of it? No. Am I in dis-support of it? No.
Yeah, I'm just living my life.
But I'm also not going to be an advocate and be like, yep, I support it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because I don't want other people to think, oh, well, he doesn't support that. Well, good, motherfucker. That's why I live in America.
Well, and same thing, dude. Like,
don't hate me because of that. I don't hate them because of that.
The whole pronoun things and stuff, like okay, here's the deal. Here's where I
identify as.
Yeah, it's like here's where I stand. Same thing with the support of like all that, like even outside of LGBTQ, like whatever. You do you. Like, I agree. You do you, but do not shove that shit down my throat and say you have to support me. I don't have to support shit. I support what I believe in and what I find okay. That's what I do. Now, you doing that, I'm okay with. That's fine. But do not come to my front door. Do not go into my town. Do not go into my work and tell me you have to respect me. Okay? No, it's a two-way fucking street. You also have to respect me. So,
amen.
You want me to call you by your pronouns, that's fine. Say, hey, I would appreciate it if you call me by this. No problem. You want to be a fucking lampshade? Cool. I'll shove a light bulb up your ass and fucking whatever you want. That's fine. You fucking identify as a goddamn car? Cool. I'll put oil on you. I don't give a shit. But don't sit there and tell me or come after me and be like, you didn't call me by my pronouns. Well, you didn't fucking make it out to say what you wanted. Like, okay, if you're gonna do that, then you will call me sir.
And don't
Are
you
you
dare
okay
push
with
that
calling me
fucking,
sir?
don't you push that shit on my kid. Oh man.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of people that are switching over to homeschool because of that issue, man. Because public schools are starting to get to be a toxic environment for that stuff.
Yeah.
Because they want.
I'm okay with it being discussed. Okay, I'm okay with
Yeah,
it being
no.
like, hey, did you know this is out there? Hey, did you know that is out there?
Yep.
But don't tell my kid they got to fucking choose.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
Again, same thing. Like I'm all for kids finding out about it, talking about it, but not having it be a part of their learning criteria.
Yeah,
Like
no.
start teaching them.
That should never be in school, dude.
No, that like I don't think like religion should be in schools. I don't think any of that shit should be in schools. I think
that should be influenced by your freaking household, bro.
Yes, and you should still stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance, whether you like what the United States has done with our past or not. You're still an American citizen. Like you still should pledge allegiance to your nation and to your country. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. That's part of why we are who we are, but show some respect, swallow your pride, stand up for that 30, 45-second pledge, and sit down. Nothing's going to come of it.
Hey, can I debate with you real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you said don't put religion in school. So do you have a problem with it being one nation under God?
That I had a feeling that was going to come up. That's fine. That's been our pledge, dude. Like I'm not a religious guy, but I'll still say one nation under God. Like
so you're not anti like, oh, we got to take God out of the pledge.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, none of that. Like what I mean more is like teachers pushing their religion in schools.
Okay, correct.
Like,
okay, yeah.
Like
don't be influenced by the person that's influencing you. Yeah.
Be like, oh, that's not what God had planned for you. Like, no, get that shit out of there. But like the pledge is the pledge for sure. Our money says, in God we trust, like all that stuff. So totally understand that stuff. Yeah. I don't want taken out of here, but
no. And like I said, dude, that all of what we've just discussed should be either influenced or at least spoken about to your child in your own home. Right?
Yeah.
You brought that kid into the world. Let me educate them on things like that. The school, that's not the school's business.
Yeah.
Whether he believes in God, whether he wants to be trans or gay or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? That's none of the school's business. And if he wants to be straight and he wants to believe in God, leave it at that, bro. That's none of your fucking business. That's not your kid. You're here to teach him what he's supposed to know for the next grade.
Yeah,
that's it.
I couldn't agree anymore because, that's what parents are doing. They're raising their kids the way that they want to raise them. They want them to grow up with their beliefs. But that kid at the age of 18 years old, when they go out into the world, they used to. Now they just hang around their parents' basements. But I don't blame them with the housing market. But that kid, that kid at 18 years old is going to go off and they're going to discover who they want to be. The problem is though, is they get influenced in some of these public education places and end up, I knew some people that grew up in conservative households and they ended up becoming liberals or Democrats. That's fine. Yeah. They found that's what works for them. They found because, you see it a lot too with religion. Like you see a lot of people that grew up Catholic and they're like, dude, I don't want any part of religion because Catholics are, for the most part, they're pretty hardcore with their religion.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, I am not the same person that I was when I was 18 years old. I changed. I have totally different beliefs. I have totally different things. I grew up I ended up following pretty much my parents' footsteps and what they believe and what they do. But I have my own differences and stuff, like my parents' generation grew up with gay marriage and stuff like that not being acceptable and okay, right? Like it's a sin. Now I've got family members that are gay, and it's like I don't care. Like
Yeah.
I just want them to be happy. I just want them to
Yeah.
be happy, and if that's what makes them happy, go for it. Like you do your
Absolutely,
thing,
dude.
but
Yeah.
don't come at me and say, "Hey, I'm this, so you need to, you got to accept me." Well, hold on. Let's pump the brakes there, Ficino. Like, I'm not going to do anything that I don't want to do. Now, I was willing to do that, but because you just told me, it's like, nah, fuck that, dude. Like,
No, yeah, it's when it's pushed on you that there is resistance, right?
right.
If you would just take for a second and just be like, maybe this person, maybe they didn't know that I wanted to be, like you said, identified as a lampshade, right? Maybe they didn't know that. And maybe they don't hate me because of that. But dude, today's society, it's just like the switch just flips, man. And it's just like, you're a fucking sexist and a racist. And it's like, no, I'm not. You don't have a shirt on that says I'm a lampshade. You to me look like a woman. I'm sorry. Or you to me look like a man. That's not me being sexist or racist.
That's just going off of what I grew up with.
Yeah. And how am I supposed to know that you wanted to be referred to as him or she if you don't tell me? Right?
Or they.
It's not that hey, you want to be whatever you want to be it. I don't care. That is your business. That is your prerogative. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you. I am not going to hate you. Do I wish you wouldn't do that? Yeah, I do. But I'm not going to not sit here and have an argument with you because you didn't inform me. Because when I see blue, the color's blue. You know, when I see red, the color's red.
It's
sorry.
It's, with those types of people, I've seen the arguments. It's almost like arguing with a toddler.
It is, man, and that's becoming more acceptable in the society.
Well, but yeah, because they don't want to accept facts. They don't want to accept a current situation, and it's like, I'm sorry, this is the way that it is. This is what we do. And if they're like, well, we don't like that. Okay, well, you don't have to like it, but you still got to fucking follow it.
Oh, man, it's just like the people that, yeah.
If you don't like it, there's the door. You
can
go to
like
another
people
country.
that are anti-American, dude. Like they don't like what America stands for. Whether there's a Democrat or a Republican in the office, they hate America, but they still live here.
Oh yeah, it's easy to hate on a country that's not going to do anything. But you go over to another country and you start, because some countries do not have the freedom of speech that we have.
Can you fucking imagine this? If we went to Israel or we went to Gaza or we went to somewhere else and there was something happening in America, right? And we started fucking waving American flags and saying, "Free fucking America." Do you think it would go down the same? That the police over there would just stand there and just be like, "Hey, just don't burn anything. Don't break anything."
Right? Yeah.
Imagine going to fucking Mexico and doing that.
Or just, like you said, going over to those countries, especially the Islamic Middle Eastern countries. If you said anything bad about even a group or their country, dude, they incarcerate you for that. They kill people for that.
And it's in fucking public.
Yeah. It's like this due to like public executions of beheadings and shit like that and hanging people.
100%, yeah.
Like,
be thankful that you can have your little protest and your little rally, but don't be a fucking dickhead about it.
Right.
And at the same time, quit flying other people's fucking flags in our country.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That shit annoys me, dude. I cannot stand. I'm not saying I hate another country, but this is the United States of fucking America, and you're out there parading around with whatever flag that you're protesting about, and you go home and you don't even have an American flag in your fucking house or outside of your house. Like, if that's the case, bro, bye. See ya.
There's only one flag.
Go live over there.
There's only one flag that should fucking fly the highest, and that's the United States of America. Like,
in America,
the American flag.
Yeah,
that's it. I have no problem with people putting up their home country or their like their inheritance or whatever, or not inheritance, their
100%.
heritage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I'm German. I'm very German in my blood. Like I have no problem if I put up a German flag. However, I will always have an American flag above that. And
Yeah.
I just don't have any interest in putting another flag up because this is our country. So
But you're not out riding your fucking motorcycle with a German
dude.
flag.
No. And not only that, but some of these colleges and shit that are flying the Palestinian flag and all that shit, it's like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Are you like, how is this a thing right now?
Yeah.
It's so
go get go over there and get your education, please.
Yeah. If you want to, you know what? If you seem very hard set on helping out Palestine, I got you a plane ticket. You're heading out tonight. You're going to fly over there and you can take all of your little protest fucking cards that you made and
freak out, bro.
And you can go over there and help them out. I guarantee you they'll love the support. They'll probably put you in a really nice.
I'll even buy you a Kevlar and a fucking flak jacket, bro.
Yeah, you can, dude. You can borrow whatever you want, whatever you need, except for my firearms. You can, if you need a flak, you need some, whatever. I got you.
Yeah.
Like I will gladly help you out, and then watch the demeanor change. Be like, whoa, I guess I'm not that super serious. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
or they go over there and they just don't come back. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Even better. Win-win.
Go do your thing over there. Go do God's work. And fucking, if it works out for you, great. But otherwise, we'll see you back here in the fall.
See you back here in the fall.
I'll see you back in a couple days because you'll do the old turnaround. Like, holy shit, man, this place sucks compared to. Wait, they don't even have a fucking Starbucks here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no shit, dude.
Dude, I saw something really interesting on Starbucks. And it was from a Joe Rogan podcast. Have you ever dove into that?
No.
The logo?
Oh,
that it's a mermaid?
I heard some shit about that.
So I can't remember everything. This is a total sidebar, but it's a mermaid, and mermaids used to, like serenade the sailors or whatever, right? With their voice.
Yep, and lure them in and kill them.
Yeah, and kill them. Well, Starbucks, being quote unquote fast food, is one of the only fast food joints that doesn't have a jingle.
Fuck, I didn't even realize that.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
And they were like going into it to say it's the logo that people recognize, not the jingle. But when you think about McDonald's, I think about the Golden Arches, but I think of ba 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 ba. I'm loving it, right?
Yeah, and Burger King, have it your way.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about the burger or the bun in the bun where it says Burger King, right? I'm not thinking about that.
No. Damn, that's a good point. I didn't even fucking think of that.
It's weird, right?
I've also never seen a Chinese food restaurant fucking commercial. Never.
No.
I've never once seen a commercial for Chinese food other than
I'm talking like the top 5, your McDonald's, your Wendy's, your Burger King.
Yeah, no, that makes sense in that sense. Like, but yeah, that's wild. I guess I don't like up here too. We have Caribou. Caribou is really, really huge, and wow, I never even thought about that. People see that logo and they just go bonkers for it.
Like, how does a mermaid have anything to do with coffee?
Well, I guess like you said, mermaids lured in sailors with their soothing voice and ended up killing them. So what if that's a symbol for what Starbucks is doing with their coffee?
What could come? Yeah, what could come?
Yeah, like they're putting something in the coffee to kill people.
Yeah. That's a whole conspiracy that I
is
give two shits about.
Because Black Rifle Coffee doesn't have a jingle either, but a lot of people know about them. But that's just because that's Black Rifle Coffee, but they advertise a shit ton for that. I don't really see any advertisements for Starbucks.
I don't think I ever see them on TV.
Never. Oh. I've only seen them like
not even a billboard.
I only see it in movies and
and they do so well.
Yeah, they do really well.
It's bizarre, right? Like, it's bizarre that there's like very limited advertising and they do so fucking well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess same thing too with Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Like they're advertising.
No,
their
there's
shit.
Coca-Cola commercials. You know the polar bear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like Coke and Pepsi, they do commercials to advertise their drink, but I've never seen Starbucks do that.
No, I don't think I really don't. Maybe I have, and maybe I just don't remember. But it obviously didn't leave an impact on me. It obviously wasn't around when I was growing up. Like I remember watching the Super Bowl commercials with the polar bears wearing the drinking the Coke. You know.
Yep. Yeah,
And,
no,
Bud
that's
Bud Light's got the freaking bullet train that blows through people's houses and freezes them and gives
Coors
them a
Light.
Bud Light or Coors Light. Sorry, yeah, Coors Light.
Yeah, Budweiser's got the horses.
And Budweiser's got the horses. Like those are big names. Those are big names that compete with Starbucks. And I'm not saying they're the same, but you get my drift. Like they're three big companies, whatever. But yeah, I just think that's so weird that there's no advertising, and they do really well.
That totally does seem also like it would be something on Joe Rogan. Like he's just fucking hitting his blunt, and he's like, "Tell me about Starbucks."
Yeah, let's dive into that logo, man. There's something up with that logo.
Yo, this is a love seat, but I live alone. Does that mean I'm lonely?
Yeah, typical Joe Rogan. Hey, I'm actually going to see him. I'm going to see him August 3rd.
What?
Or August 2nd. Sorry, yeah, August 2nd.
Where is he?
Him and Kill Tony.
Where are they performing at?
In San Antonio.
So I think I've watched one of Joe Rogan's stand-ups. I think they're funny, but I think like he tries a little too hard. He's almost like, to me, no, this is a bad comparison, but like Bert Kreischer, for instance. Bert Kreischer was very funny when he came out, when he talked about like, I'm the machine, you know, and he fucking had his shirt off. Like that shit was funny as fuck. And now he's like one of the most popular comedians now. He overdoes it. I can't watch his stand-ups. I think he's super fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I think he absolutely tries way too hard. I think he's kind of like I like Kevin Hart. I think he's funny, but he again too tries way too hard. But that's why I love people like Pablo Francisco. I like Tom Segura. If you haven't watched, there's a stand-up. Jim Jeffries is okay. What the hell's the name?
Yeah, I love Nate Bargatze, bro. I love
Nate Bargatze. Super dude. Me and my girlfriend absolutely love Nate Bargatze.
Yeah,
like it's funny too because he talks about like growing
relatable
up on
shit.
Relatable stuff. He's clean, and not only that, but he was talking about, and this is true up here in Minnesota because we have over 10,000 lakes. So I grew up always on a boat. Like my dad bought a boat when I was young. We were constantly every weekend on the boat. And what's funny is Nate Bargatze talked about, he's like, yeah, man, you know, we went out to a lake and everybody on the lake's either drunk or 11. And dude, that's not a joke. That is serious. Up here, I just like the last weekend I went up to Grand Rapids with my girlfriend to her hometown, and we went out on Pokegama Lake. And we were out on the pontoon, and I'm like looking around, and there's boats everywhere. Like there's pontoons, there's boats, there's jet skis. People are tubing and fishing. Like it's the American dream. And I looked over, and I swore I saw like these like 13-year-old kids back to back on a fucking jet ski. And then I looked over, and then there's us drinking on the pontoon. And then I look over, and there's another pontoon of people just getting absolutely shithoused. It's like it's the Wild West, dude. Like, you don't know what's going to happen when you go to a lake. It's either people are super fucking intoxicated, or you got kids that are like their dad fucking threw them the keys to the jet ski and was like, yeah, go have fun, kids.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
That'll be a good show, though, man. I think you'll like that.
No, it should be. Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Then we're going to Third Eye Blind and Yellow Card on Saturday.
Throwback right there. Holy shit. Yellow Card. I haven't heard Yellow Card
weekend, man.
Third Eye Blind. That's this weekend? Or that weekend?
August 2nd and August 3rd, yeah.
Okay, I've got
and then I'm going to see Def Leppard.
Oh, dude, I saw them, man. They fucking wail. Dude, Def Leppard is the shit. Like
you sound like what's that movie, bro?
Fucking Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
Def Leppard sucks.
You know,
sissy boy. Def Leppard sucks. My my buddy Kenny,
iconic shit from that movie.
dude, my buddy Kenny absolutely fucking hates that band. I've asked him a few times. I'm like, why is it that you don't like Def Leppard? And because he grew up in the 80s, right? So he heard Guns N' Roses when they were coming up. He heard Motley Crue, like these great bands, and he's like, yeah. And then fucking Def Leppard came up, and so he always has this joke, and I love it. He goes, "What has 9 arms and sucks?" And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, Def Leppard, because the drummer's missing.
Because the drummer's one-handed. Yeah. That's a good one.
Dude, I'm excited because August I got a Metallica. It's not a back-to-back night, but it's 2 nights, 2 different set lists here at US Bank Stadium. Got Zach Bryan. We've got floor tickets to that, so we're going to see Zach Bryan with Turnpike Troubadours. Got Iron Maiden in October, and then Cody Johnson's in October.
Hey, you're going to Cody Johnson in October?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Me too.
Are you really?
Yeah, he's gonna be in the Woodlands in Texas, just north of Houston. It's like October, I think it's 26th or something like that.
Yeah, mine's October 11th.
Nice.
I mean, obviously I've got a Kojo flag tattoo. It had to happen. And then he's releasing his other second part of the Leather album come this fall. I think he said it was going to be I think it's October or November. I'm hoping it's October so I can hear some new stuff. But yeah, I'm more excited too because Justin Moore is opening up for him. And God, there was somebody else.
Do you remember we went to Justin Moore and Eric Church?
Dude,
that was a concert, man. That was a concert.
Dude, I remember
Eric Church Justin Moore. Who opened for who? Somebody opened for who?
It was somebody. Okay, so it was Kip Moore.
It was Kip Moore, Justin Moore, and
Justin
Eric Church.
Moore, and then Eric Church. And I remember,
yeah,
because I went with Jacobs, and then another guy. I don't remember if you remember Artie Mac Bauer.
Artillery
Mac. Yeah. So I went with those 3, and we bumped into Kip Moore outside of that venue.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I met him. And then I remember going, and I think I only knew 2 songs by Eric Church, which, dude, my girlfriend is like the ultimate Eric Church fan. I think she's seen him 23 times.
Oh, no.
And I remember going to that concert, and I think I knew Drank a Little Drank, Smoke a Little Smoke, and Creepin'. That's the only 2 songs that I fucking knew, and I'm like, this
I'm here for Justin Moore, actually.
I was
not the headliner.
I was there for Justin Moore, and then I bumped into Kip Moore, and I was like, and that's when he released his first album, so I was like, hey, man, fucking cool, man.
Didn't we have a shirt in Okinawa that says something about Justin Moore?
No, we had a shirt. Well, yeah, because it was we had those shirts made that said "Hank It."
Yeah, because that song, by Justin Moore.
And then you had a State of Texas, and I had a State of Minnesota.
The State of Minnesota.
I got
those
that.
Are the shittiest shirts,
dude. They fucking sucked. It was just a white shirt that said "Hank It" in red, and it had the State of Texas and the State of Minnesota. I remember going to get those made, and the Japanese woman that I was talking to, I was like, "Yeah, I want this." In an extra large that's got the State of Minnesota, and then I want one other one that's in a size medium or large or whatever you were wearing at the time with the State of Texas. And she was like, and I was like, I had to show her. I was just like, yeah, that's what we want.
Did we get that? We got that made in the mall, did we not?
We sure did. Right there at the the PX
man.
right there when you walk in. There's like a couple kiosks where you can get some stuff. Yeah, I had her make those for us, and I think they were like $5 a piece. It was so fucking cheap. And
those were the shirts, man.
I have that photo of you and I in your barracks room, and I remember I cut the fuck out of my finger at work. So I had literally a paper towel that was taped to my finger, so my finger straight.
Or in that picture?
In that shirt. And I think you and I were just about to go to the Palms, and we took a picture of us in their new shirts, and I had that big ass fucking liter of Gatorade
of sweet tea. Oh no, I thought it was sweet tea.
It might have been.
Did I have the sweet tea?
You had the sweet tea. I had the Gatorade bottle that was empty, and that was my spitter. So I have this fat ass dip in with like just that much of spit on the bottom of this Gatorade bottle wearing our shirts, dude. Let me see if I can pull it up for people to see here.
That shit was legendary, dude.
Dude, those are good times, man.
The Palms.
I tell people about the Palms all the time. I'm like, you had to be there.
It's great.
You had to be there. I miss the fact that you could go get absolutely shithouse hammered for like 30
$20.
bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20, 30 bucks. You'd have like 4 or 5 pitchers of beer, and we'd steal the pitchers and bring them back to our barracks room. And then
Shh, we did not.
and then what was it? Oh, the best part was, what was that that restaurant that was connected to it? The Coconut Lounge or something?
Oh yeah. Right before you like walked into the bar, yeah.
Yeah, so like the right was the Palms, you walk in there, and then on the left they had the lounge. And I remember like you and I probably getting back to our barracks room at like 3:00 in the morning, and then we'd wake up at like 7 or 8 because that's just our natural internal clocks, and we'd be like so hungover, and you'd like, because you lived right next door to me, and you'd come over and be like, hey, you'd be like,
Pow, pow, pow.
hey, let's go get food. And it's like, all right, dude. And I remember I sat down with you, and I think it was Gibson, and I sat there and started like cutting up a country fried steak, and I was so hungover. I was like, I can't even eat this. I'm so hungover.
I'm having to concentrate way too hard right now.
Like, I'm still sweating out booze, and dude, I think we were going like scuba diving, or not scuba diving, snorkeling that day too. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I
don't even think you went.
I didn't, because I was about to die. I had to go back to my fucking room and sleep.
Yeah,
because I was so hungover. I was like, I can't do this. And then I remember we got back, or you guys got back, and I'm like, I was good by then. I was like, let's go to the fucking Palms tonight, boys. What are we doing? Like,
there was nothing else to do there, bro. We couldn't go off base past what, like 8:00 or some shit.
no, yeah, because we had all those limo restrictions, and Kintown didn't have anything. They had cigarette vending machines and strip club,
a tattoo place,
a couple tattoo
places, yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. And
yeah, you had to go pretty far to get food, actually.
Yeah, you did, because they had that one restaurant right outside the gate. But I remember I had curry in Japan, and I was like, I always grew up. I thought curry was like a Japanese thing, and all of a sudden they're like, no, that's an Indian food, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you racist Minnesota white boy.
We don't have that shit up here, dude. I'm like, so I told people, I'm like, yeah, I had Japanese food. I had some curry, and people give me the weirdest fucking look. They're like, that's not fucking Japanese.
Are you sure you were in Japan?
Yeah, like, you should have been saying like you had fresh sushi or fucking whatever, dude. But no, you had curry. Like, yeah, shit was good.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, man.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot. Hour,
I feel like
some change.
I feel like we got very patriotic, and there's probably gonna be some people that are like, Jesus Christ. But
yeah, whatever.
Here's the American part. I don't give a fuck what you think. No, I'm just kidding. So, close it out with some advice. What do you have?
Oh man, I got nothing right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of blanking myself.
I'm in like a negative mood because of this whole conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I got something.
Okay, what do you got?
Take pictures.
Yes.
I do. I wish I would have taken more pictures on like deployments.
Yes.
Like Afghanistan, Australia, but I have like no pictures from Australia.
Yes.
0. But the counterpart of that is like, hey, dude, if you're having fun, be in the moment, but also tell your friend to take pictures.
Or pick up some random guy you just met like not more than 2 hours ago that you think knows that country, and they literally just started living there about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, Barry, man, Barry.
Have him be your tour guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I 100% agree. I see that come up a lot where they're like, what's the number one thing that you would tell somebody that's like going in the military? It's like, take fucking pictures, dude. Take pictures with your homie. Pose up with them fucking M16s. Pose up with their gun. Pose up.
Yeah.
Because you're going to regret not doing it. At the time, it seemed like such a douchey ass thing to do, but man, do I regret not taking more photos.
I'm not even just talking about the Marine Corps. I'm just talking about in general, man. Like,
but
I'm having fun, dude.
in
Dude,
general,
take
take
pictures. Yeah.
fucking photos with whatever you're doing. Take photos because that shit, once it's gone, and it's only in your head. You want to be able to show people that shit what you did.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one, dude. That's a really good one.
Also, be a pro.
And be a pro. Check the shirt. Peep the shirt.
Yeah. Be a pro.
Be a pro.
What do you got? What do you got? Come on, follow that up with something better.
Dude, that's hard to follow, man. You put me on the spot.
You can do it. I know you got some patriotic shit to say.
I don't know, man. I was gonna say blood makes the grass grow, but dude, I got nothing.
Nothing.
I got nothing. Yeah, I don't really have any.
Well, you better have something next time there.
I did. I dropped the ball on this one. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I think that's why I kind of put that off on you, hoping that you had something and you did. He definitely beat me to the punch on that. So,
well, we're gonna y'all probably want to join next time. We're gonna try to get one of our Marine Corps buddies, Cody Hill, on and talk about his little movement he's got going on. I'm not gonna say too much or what it's about, but it's pretty inspiring. But yeah, we're gonna try to get him on. But he did not get back to me about what day next week, but he did say next week. So I'll let you know. I'll get with you and Jeff. And Jeff is not here. He had some stuff pop up before the podcast, so we decided to jump on and run it. But Jeff should be back for the next one.
Love you, Pookie.
Yeah. We miss you, Jeffrey.
Miss you, Pookie. Kiss your you know what? There you go. I got one there for you. It's it's always kiss the homies goodnight.
Kiss the homies goodnight.
Kiss the homies goodnight.
I will never kiss you, but okay.
No. But subconsciously I kiss you goodnight every night.
It's a little weird. Just don't look at my picture when you do that, please.
I don't have to. It's all up to you, baby.
Understood. We're gonna close it out on that. So if you think Kel's a weirdo, give us a like and a follow, please. It would help. You got anything else? You good?
I'm good.
You going to bed? All right, dude. See you later. Bye.
All right, bye.